Hello, Anatomy and Physiology class. Brian here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about our assignment number 4, the animal brain comparison. And this one is one of my favorite assignments in the brain region for sure, but it is challenging. So this is a really cool opportunity where you can dig in and check out some different brains in different animals, which I think is fascinating. So they are found here in the brainmuseum.org. And then here's our assignment over here on the right. And so here's what the website looks like. Here's what your assignment looks like. And the goal of the assignment is to compare the human brain, because that's the one we're most familiar with, it's ours and how we think, to these different other animal brains. So the gray squirrel, the dog, and a variety of others, cats, elephants. And our goal is to identify things that are similar with the human brain and things that are different. And then make some inferences, so make some informed opinions on strengths and weaknesses we see in that animal. Now, all of these animals are ones we're familiar with, so hopefully there are some things that you're already aware of. So for instance, we know that cats are extremely nimble. We know that squirrels are very, also very physically active and very agile. And so our goal is to see, well, is that supported in the anatomy of that brain? Okay, so here's my example I want to show you quick to hopefully help you figure it out. Here's the human brain. Dun, 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 dun. That is inside here. And a few things we notice in that. So a few things that are strengths of ours I put in here for you. We have a large cerebrum. All right, and that cerebrum is this part on top. That's this region here. That cerebrum is responsible for a lot of what we consider higher order thought. Right? So that allows us to have higher level reasoning and problem solving skills. We also, if you notice, we have lots of folds in the brain, in the cerebrum there especially. This indicates that we have more cerebral surface area and the potential for more complex thought. So the more folds, we've come to realize, has association with more complex thought. Okay? Does that definitively make that animal smarter? I don't know. It's kind of a loaded term, but it certainly means they're thinking more complexly. Okay, some things we aren't so good at. We have a very small olfactory bulb. Our sniffer is terrible, and we'll see that in the brain. Gives us a poor sense of smell. And the brain, more brain mass committed to the cerebrum versus cerebellum means that we are a little bit less agile. We are not very impressive physically, but we are pretty good intellectually. So you can see these folds up here in the brain. You can also see we have a smaller cerebrum to the cerebellum, which means we are less reliant on our physical abilities, more reliant on our mental capacity. Okay? And here you can see the little itty bitty olfactory bulbs. It means we have a terrible sense of smell. Okay, now let's compare that to the gray squirrel. Holy smokes. The gray squirrel is super duper flat, right? It's like shiny almost, right? Less folds, less complex thought. Huge olfactory bulbs. Big olfactory bulbs. Better sense of smell, right? Much bigger cerebrum compared to cerebellum. Much more coordinated. Those little squirrels out there, they're very reactive, very able to sniff things out and react to the world, okay? You can see that in the anatomy of their brain. You might ask, Brian, what's similar? It looks totally different. Well, they still have a bigger cerebrum versus cerebellum, even though it's not quite as big. They still have the same brain regions. You could find those 11 brain regions still on this squirrel, which indicates we actually have a shared mammal ancestor. You could also say that it has a similar general structure, right? And like the organization of those brain regions. There's still the cerebrum in front, the cerebellum in the back, brainstem below it. Okay? So all of those observations then, you will put into this. And so I put those similarities on this side. I put those differences on this side, and then I made some statements around that. So I said the large olfactory bulb suggests it's a great sense of smell. Large cerebellum and temporal lobe suggest they're very good at reacting to the world around them. Some weaknesses of that squirrel: the smaller frontal lobe and fewer folds means the squirrel has less complex thought. It's not out there probably thinking about the meaning of life, but instead saying, where's the nut and how do I avoid getting hit by a car? All right. Squirrels aren't as good at that complex decision making. All right. So check out some of these other animals, make some comparisons, and hopefully have some fun thinking about how our brains work. All right. Thanks, Anatomy and Physiology.